turns to another first-year player to help on the back line.
And a late shift given what we saw from the lineup from the national anthem. It appears to be McKenna Kennedy, 26, not Kayla Ross, 28. Several changes for Nancy Feldman, even apart from that. One of the more interesting ones is Gio Pereira getting the nod as the number 9 player up front. It was Lauren Edelman last week. They're both going to play quite a bit. Nancy Feldman has shown that. The formation is relatively fluid, but the constant...
But already we're starting to see some better flow from midfield in the offensive end here from BU thus far.
It's definitely crisper. They're looking to play to the flanks, which is more or less their game. They love to get their wingers involved, keep the ball moving, and then you'll have someone like Pereira who's really good with hold-up play up front. And the ideal is you ping the ball into her, she can lay it off for one of the other wings cutting in and get a chance on goal that way.
Now Matthews, unable to keep this inside the pitch this time, and a deep throw-in for the Raiders. Sideline it goes. Maybe some space here for Ali Giovino. Giovino, bump, spins her way away from danger. And too far there for Lily Matthews. And when we talked to Coach Feldman earlier this week, she was very complimentary of the game from Lily Matthews last weekend, calling it very mature.
Yeah, very, a young player, first collegiate game. Obviously, there's going to be some butterflies, certainly rust, given how long it's been since they've had to compete, but she's very good on the ball. She's confident. She's got some pace to her as well, and when you have the type of vision she does, that's why you want her sitting right behind the striker, marshaling the attack in a way, because everything comes through her. She can switch the field, she can drive the channels, she can slot one through.
From Ferreira at times. Ferreira back over to Matthews.
Mike, this is what Pereira does so well. She's so good at hold-up play. She understands the turn isn't on. She knows she doesn't have a pass square, just makes a quick little cut, passes it to the center, and that's what allows this play to end up occurring.
Now Pereira into the box, nicely blocked down, and she'll just let that able to get by the defense. Towards the end line, into the box, and right to the feet there of Vaughn, who will just tap it aside.
So when Oldham goes to the left as an inverted winger, she's so good at driving in, but then the service on that occasion, it's what you lose by moving her to the left because she's a naturally right-footed player. That one cuts across on the skimming the surface of the turf. It's not a perfect ball, but the run is what ultimately kept it in here. And if they do score, that's still a critical reason why.
Nifty moves there from Matthews as Kennedy. Now the feet of Pereira. Far side for Oldham again. And so delivered passing here by BU. Matthews. Up her chest, back to Jaworski. She'll touch down. And so it's returned here to Bourgeois. Bourgeois switching along with Kennedy. Oldham. Able to track this down. Oldham. Again, able to make a penetrating run to the box. Sends it far corner, and she scores! Oldham. Able to put a top right corner and double the Terriers' lead as she gets by the defense. Good first touch. The step, the space, and the strike to the corner. Field to get things going for this BU offense have been key.
Yeah, 100%. And games are very often won or lost in the midfield. And you figure with players like Kennedy and Jaworski that BU should have that advantage more often than not.
And nice body there by the head referee by the Terriers. And it's Jaworski as Oldham wide. Oldham now back, switched along for Matthews. And it's Bourgeois. Bourgeois didn't have anything going down the near side, so it's Kennedy. Tapped over. Matthews now. Maybe looking for a run for Bourgeois, but none available, so it's Jaworski. Oldham wide. Oldham switching back to her right. In the box, looking for Raphael. Too far, and Ponce comes out to stab him.
Well, here's where you can tell that Colgate, you're back to scoring, you're back to your winning ways, and playing with a little bit more swagger and a little bit more confidence than we've seen from this Terrier team in quite a while, and it's great to watch.
Yeah, especially when you just consider the flow of last week's game. As it looks like we have a foul here on, they're going to give this to Matthews, it looks like, so. Free kick.
Good Walsh, who's the right back. And not that Colgate doesn't. We've seen their defenders in sprints, but the difference this week is that BU's gotten their wingers in space, and Oldham in particular, who's been the star of the show, is so good on the ball that when you give her an inch, she'll take a mile.
Kennedy feeds along, comes back to Kennedy, and now it's Buck from midfield. Swung along, Bourgeois nicely catches up to it, into the middle here, bounces back out, and
Have to drop a little bit deeper to receive it. She wants them to get forward, create chaos, create havoc in front. You really can't play a better first half than what Jenna Oldham's done so far.
now Colgate on the attack for a brief time though. Matthews on the steal. Edelman. Oldham just keeps it inside. No, they say flag raised, throw in here.
And if you look in this, beyond just the 2-0 lead, putting 4 of your 5 shots on target, Messner didn't even have to make a save, although she was involved. It's a dream start for her and the Terriers.
Indeed it is, as Giovanna Pereira picks up the first goal of the season for the Terriers, coming in the 3rd minute, and Jenna Oldham following up in the 16th minute of this first half with her first this season as well. As we look at Jenna Oldham, we talk about a goal and an assist. Her 3 shots, she did a great first half, and Anne-Marie Jaworski also need to touch on her shot.
Because if they come out with high energy, they're calm on the ball, they make the passes they need to make, they don't force it, they play through when it's on, they play back when it's not, maintain, keep BU off their game, slide to Oldham when you can, keep the ball in front of you. They got a chance in this one, but it's going to come down to how they come out in the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Indeed, way too much space for the Terriers in the early going in that first half. BU was able to take advantage. We'll see if the Colgate Raiders are able to not only clamp down defensively, but still find that balance to be creative offensively as well. As they will have the opening touch here to start the second half, and we are underway as Sage DiGiulio, who probably had one of the stronger first halves on the Raiders roster.
For to play, essentially just to play it out of bounds, and all of a sudden you've earned an offensive possession for your team, and in a game like this where BU's dictated tempo, those types of little things that go a long way in deciding.
Ross starting the second here at fullback for the Terriers. She'll take a pass, or rather, take a pass now to down the left sideline. Nice touch away. Schaefer again able to step up. Julio had Chardello open for a brief moment, but couldn't find her with the feed.
To be honest, Mike, I think Chardello was offside.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Long ball over the head initially of Giovino, but she was able to catch back up to it. Rayfield off the pinball. Rayfield stripped nicely from behind, that time by Amano, and it comes back here for Matthews. Matthews lays it off for Conley. Headed back the other way by Nunzio. Kennedy says enough of this, trying to find Oldham, able to do so. And it's Ross at midfield. Nice first touch by Ferreira. Now Matthews. Able to work through the triple team. Matthews had Ross open for a moment, sits over to Kennedy, and now Rayfield will let it go to Ross. Good idea, but just out of her reach. Matthews still options, but looks like they'll be Oldham towards the box again. Good service. Off a header. Now bounce along. Stepping up is Matthews. Matthews back towards the center of the box, and that's going to get cleared away by the Raiders. Left-footed shot, blocked down, cleared away. And high near will go, bounce along, to be taken by Conlon. Open in midfield, Matthews. Matthews able to send along for Rayfield. A flags up, though, from the sideline judge. Just a hair offside.